Hello once again. I had told you that we were going to be dividing the topic of innovative pedagogy into four different capsules. The first one that we covered was on blended learning. Now, this one is on what I had referred to as HOTS. So, we will just now try to understand what exactly HOTS means. For that, I will start with the presentation. I will just share my screen with you. As you can see over here, I have got my presentation. I hope everybody is able to see it. The presentation is going to be related to the term HOTS. Let's see what is this interesting sounding acronym related to. So what do we understand by HOTS? HOTS is higher order thinking skills. This is a very important skill which especially in higher education we need to inculcate in our students, because if a student has not been able to understand higher level of thinking, then the entire process of higher education is brought to naught. So this concept of higher order thinking skills is based on learning taxonomies. If you've heard of the different learning taxonomies, there are plenty of them, but the concept of HOTS is based on Benjamin Bloom's Bloom taxonomy. We will come to that later on. What exactly we mean by HOTS? HOTS includes the process of synthesizing, analyzing, reasoning, comprehending, application, and evaluation. In short, all the skills for critical thinking. So let's go further on this. So we are now considering, we know that what it stands for, higher order thinking skills. So naturally it is affects the individuals, the students level to understand his ability and the speed with which the person learns. So naturally it has been seen under various circumstances that those students who exhibit HOTS are able to understand and learn much better and much faster than the other students who are not able to comprehend at that level. So it is the use of the techniques of HOTS is aimed at helping the student to think and not just to memorize. Memorizing was okay when the children were in school and 2 plus 2 was 4 and 2 into 2 was 4. That was okay at that point of time. But as the students come into higher level of education, they need to go much beyond just memorizing in rote memory. So higher order thinking involves learning of complex skills like critical thinking and problem solving. And as we can all understand, it is as difficult to learn as it is difficult to teach. And our role as teachers on how we are going to impart this information about the higher order level of thinking is always been a little challenging. We have to bring those, especially those who come into the first year and they're still doing the things as they had done in the school earlier. So we have to bring them out of that form of thinking into a higher order level of thinking, moving from just remembering and understanding to analyzing and conceptualizing. So this is, as you can see over here, is the picture of Benjamin Bloom. As long time back as 1956, in his book Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, the classification of educational goals, he had talked about the concept of uh, learning learning at different levels. So let's see what is it that he was talking about. This is the pyramid that he had given, Bloom had given for the different levels of understanding. As you can see, remembering and understanding are the least, that is the lowest most rung. And you go from remembering, understanding to applying, to analyzing, to evaluating, and finally the apex of understanding is creating something which is new. So looking at all these 6 levels, let us look at each one of them. I'm sure all of you must be already understanding what these are, but we can also go through them again, once again, just to understand what they are. So basically, when we are talking about HOTS, we are talking about higher order of thinking skills, but the student, when the student comes into the college, is actually at the lower order of thinking skills, that is just by memory and by understanding somewhat, the students have been able to clear their exams. But they need to understand that when they come into higher education, they will need to develop higher order thinking skills in order to do well as far as higher education is concerned. And our role as teachers is to bring them from lots to thoughts. So as I had already said, that the student, when he or she joins college, they are still following what all methods of learning, remembering, and output for that matter was what they were using in school. And the aspect of application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation, and creation has to be uh, brought about in these students, sort of inculcated in them to bring about higher level of thinking. So each concept, if we look at it, I'm just putting it into words, which I'm sure you already know. Remember is that level the student recalls factual information, that is just remembering dates, formulae, being able to give a theory by heart. Sorry, those would be the concept of remembering. That is, when was a particular war fought, where was it fought, who were the people who were fighting that war. That all information is what we refer to as remembering. And I'm sure as teachers, you know that if the student understands what he or she is trying to remember, they will remember it much better. But we have to move further. We have to also help the student understand how to apply that information. The student is not going to be able to remember that information, or for that matter give any value to that information, if he doesn't see the application of what he has learned. And only after the person is, or the student is able to learn how to apply that information that he is learning, he will be able to analyze it further and see which part of the information suits him and which doesn't. Then another ability that the student must develop or inculcate is to be able to synthesize or bring together information from different areas that the student is learning. This is a challenge which I also face in the class, because when we are teaching, I'm a teacher of psychology, when we are teaching different papers, social psychology is separate, statistics is separate, understanding psychological disorders is separate. So we have to help them that, okay, yes, for understanding and for learning, they are different papers, but actually, in effect, they are talking about a single entity, that is human beings, and how to bring this information which they are learning in different papers to bring it together to make some sense for themselves. And once they learn how to synthesize, then naturally they will also learn to evaluate, make judgments, have ideas about that information. And only when they reach this level are they going to be able to create something new, something useful, by reorganizing and forming new pattern structures of what they have learned. And this creating is the highest level according to Bloom's taxonomy. So now what becomes important for us to understand is, what are the strategies that we as educators can help our students develop or enhance the HOTS, the higher order thinking skills. One method which can be used is connecting concepts. That is, one, they should be able to name the main concept, what exactly it is, identify its features, be able to distinguish between what is the feature of this particular concept and what is not a feature of this particular concept, and they are mixing it with something else or giving it false frills which it doesn't actually have. Then giving the examples of the prototypes of that concept, that ये जो आपने concept याद किया है, in which way, which form are they going to be able to see it in their lives. Then after they've understood what that particular concept is, then they also need to understand how it can be classified, categorized, recognized as patterns, and chaining it with the previous concepts. That, okay, this is a new concept, this is similar to what we had learned in the last time, and sort of linking the two concepts together for it to make sense to the student. Another skill is collaborative strategic reading, in which you make small groups in the class, give one particular aspect to be understood by one particular group. There, these roles are divided amongst these groups. There is the leader who takes charge of the entire group, the taskmaster who divides who is going to do what task according to what they have perceived to be the strengths on that particular student. Then there is a gist expert who gives a summary at the end. There is the involver, the clunk, the pacer. Now, what understand over here also I have said the second stick aspect is identifying clicks and clunks. What is clicks and clunks? Clicks are those aspects about that information, the new information that has been given to the students that they have understood. And clunks are those chunks of information that they have not been able to make sense of. So they are able to distinguish between those information that they have understood and that information which they have not been able to understand. So in a way, the teacher's role is to help them to understand the information that they have not been able to make a sense of. In this way, you not only encourage team activity, the students are working at an activity together, but also at the same point, you are also encouraging independent learning, self-motivated learning, which is very important aspect of higher order thinking skills. The other strategies which you can use is start with explaining what is HOTS, why we should do it, what is the purpose, how it is going to help them in the long run. Then encourage problem solving in class, encourage questioning in class. No student should feel that I should not ask this question because the teacher will think that this is a stupid question. So encourage the students to ask questions. Use graphic organizing and mind maps because visual learning is one of the best ways to learn. Encourage creative thinking. Teach students to elaborate their answers in a meaningful manner. Not that because it's a 15-mark question, they have to write 10 pages, but those 10 pages are not making any sense. That is no way of attempting an answer. So if they are going to elaborate on that answer, that elaborating should also be done in a meaningful way. That is, the elaborating is done in a well-structured manner, which gives a comprehensive answer to the question. Teach QAR. What is QAR? The question answer relationship. What is the question and what is the answer? I'm sure as teachers, when you have gone for checking papers, you may have seen that you ask a different question and the answer which is given is totally irrelevant to the question that has been asked. So teach this skill to the students that they must understand what the question is asking them and then frame the answer with regard to the question. Teach Socratic style of questioning. What is Socratic style of question? I'm sure some of you must have heard of this term. Socratic style of questioning is that you as a teacher continue to ask questions in a way that enhances the learning of the student. So you start with, okay, what is this concept? What do you think it means? Where can we apply it? So that kind of questioning is referred to as the Socratic style of questioning. And like I had said in the previous module also, that it is very important for the educator to be well updated about the digital resources. If we are expecting the students to learn on their own, be self-directed, be self-motivated, we also need to give them links and places from where they can get that information. Thank you very much.